I got to do what Alicia, what Grace asked me to do, and get Mo as far away from here as possible.
What's up, guys? I'm sorry. You ever have those nights where just everything is going wrong? Believe it or not, this is the third time, and I do say third time I have actually done this recording for this god-awful episode, which I'm like, I didn't want to talk about it to begin with, but now I've done it 3 times. I'm trying to get this out. Bear with me, guys. Welcome back to the ZMAM show. I am Mike. I'm talking episode 13 for Fear the Walking Dead, and why, I'm not quite sure. This episode was atrocious, just god-awful. The writing has tanked to an all-new low. There's a few different things I want to get into tonight. It's not even worth spending too much time on it, but I want to talk about Dwight and Sherry, and I want to talk about Morgan and Mo, and this whole thing with the tower, and Mo being, like, acting like she's the chosen one or something like that, and it's all or nothing with her. Okay, so listen, let's get into Sherry and Dwight real quick here. They could be possibly the worst couple I think I've ever watched on TV, okay, just in general. I mean, they've gone through so many ups and downs. I mean, their story was kind of cool at first, right? The whole thing with Negan and the multiple wives, and Dwight was basically, brought in, under Negan, and then he was scarred under Negan, and then he was like Negan's almost number 1 lackey. Let's just call him number 2, and then became number 1 after Negan took out other said persons anyways. But we've seen him go through a whole lot of stuff, right? But we've been through a lot of this, all right? And I feel we're just going over the same territory like we always had. Except tonight, the stakes have changed a little bit. Now, they tried to trick us, right? They showed her getting this raft ready. She went out early for a supply run or something like that. She's getting a raft with a bunch of supplies, true. But it's not for her. We find out it's actually for Dwight. She wants to send him away, which I'm like, what? This dude conquered heaven, hell, earth, and everything else just to find you. And you think he's just going to leave? And her premise is she wants him to leave because if they go to the tower and they join Victor, which they're teetering on the chance of doing this, that he'll basically become the old Dwight, and that, he'll be evil and everything that she loved about him will just disappear and so forth. Okay, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense, but so what? He's just going to leave? It's not going to work, Sherry. Furthermore, she's pregnant, okay? First they play around with it, but it could be, couldn't it? She is, okay? So we get to see this, basically this episode of, so Morgan starts off, he has Mo, right? He got it away from Victor. John Dory was able to pull some strings, framed Howard. Howard gets tossed off the roof, which was kind of cool, actually, and funny because he totally deserved it. And then John ends up taking the baby to safety in a bunch of, like, padded armored gear, gets bitten, and ends up dying. Sucks for John Dory Sr., but, it was time for a character death. That's for damn sure. So his arc is definitely played out. Off you go. Morgan's now leading the zombies away from Victor's compound to open it up for attack. Okay, I didn't get that at first, but then I was like, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense or whatever. Even though they totally don't have enough people probably to do what they need to do, we're going to go with it. So they're taking the zombies away. We find out that the crater, where all those thousands and thousands of zombies were there, someone dumped some kind of ramp or trailer ramp or I don't know, something in there. I couldn't quite tell what that thing was, but it was something large enough for those zombies to make their way out. I guess they climbed, that, I don't know. But they're out and they're on the move. Where they all are, that is the big question. And furthermore, who did it? That was the only interesting thing about tonight's episode, really. That was it. Everything else was pretty much complete crap. We see this Sherry and Dwight taking Mo, a transfer from Morgan to them, which, by the way, they got attacked on the road by some dude with an automatic rifle. Never see that dude again. What was that all about? That's one. Sherry and Dwight then keep making their way with Mo. They get stopped by Wesley and a few of the Rangers. The Rangers. Stop using the term Ranger, Victor's Rangers. Those guys and gals are so inept and they're so poorly trained and everything else. It's amazing they get anything done. Just because they have a gun in their hand doesn't make them awesome, okay? And pretty much they all died tonight. I mean, there was a good 7 or 8 of them between the compound where they end up leading the zombies in the end, which happened to be Alicia's compound where her people, or where Teddy's people were hanging out. Go figure. What are the chances of them running over these same places over and over again? I know. It's all about funding and what they're able to spend for in the show, but still, you gotta diversify a bit, boys and girls. So we get to see him run into Wesley. They knock him off the horse. They could have killed him right there. They didn't. I mean, Wesley turned to the dark side, as with episode or 2 ago, whatever. He's just like, I can't do this anymore, and I've seen the light. Well, you haven't seen shit. I guess you just see an easy way to probably join Victor, and I don't know if it's a mix between, but I don't really understand Wesley's character, to be honest. He says he's doing it because of his brother, that he should have joined his brother. Well, if you think you should have joined your brother, then you're just as weak-minded then as all of Teddy's followers, and then you pretty much have no business being with our group because you're too easily coerced one way or the other. So now he's with Victor, whatever, and he's chasing these two down. At least minimum of 2 encounters, and the second encounter, this is the second big what the hell, at least with that crew, is that him and Dwight actually get into a like full-on scuffle between the two of them, and then they cut it. And then the next thing we see, Dwight's running into Sherry like, "Oh yeah, Wesley, I slowed him down." You slowed him down? What the hell does that mean? You stabbed him in the leg? You beat him up? You know, I mean, how did you even get away unscathed yourself? I'm just like, what? I don't know if maybe they filmed a fight scene. Maybe it didn't turn out that good. Had to cut it for time reasons. That's definitely possible. Guys, it's just this sloppy writing and just throwing things around, and that's what Fear it literally is all about. It's all about random adventures, random, you know, like, oh, I got out of this, oh, I got out of that, you know, and occasionally a good episode in between. This one was far and few between. Now let's get to Mo and Morgan, and I'm going to finish this rant. Morgan and Grace have turned Mo, this baby, into some kind of like prodigy, like she is the one or something of the sort. So she has to survive. And maybe it's just because it's their kid, which is not their kid, right? It's technically an apocalypse adoption, if that's a thing. It's probably not, but whatever. We're going to go with it. And so, you know, I guess she's their world now. That's all fine, well, and good. Morgan, you are the leader for this rabble of crew. I mean, yeah, Alicia was kind of a leader too, and maybe they're trying to change the, you know, hand the torch off, give the mantle over, if you will, to Alicia, which she probably should have had a long time ago. Morgan has stayed in power for way too long, and I don't think he's not consistent enough, right? He shifts with the wind, you know, whichever the wind's going, and that's if it's going Morgan's way. So he's getting ready to basically go off into the sunset, if you will, on a raft with baby Mo. Like, again, the adventures of Morgan and Mo or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know if he's leaving the show or if they're just giving a chance for Alicia to finally come to power. Madison was supposed to come back. Remember Alicia's mom, Alicia and Nick's mom, who we thought died at the stadium, which I knew she didn't die. I called that a long time ago. My brother-in-law were like, didn't see it, didn't happen. And so, of course, she's alive. But she's still not back yet. What is happening, guys? And if some are thinking, well, we have to let the story play out. Guys, we've let this story play out for far too long, okay? It's almost, I almost compare it to like that of Negan's story in The Walking Dead. Not like his redemption story, but basically like the struggle between Rick and Negan, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I think everybody just kind of got the fatigue with it. I know it kind of worked in the comics, but I don't think it really worked so well on the show. I mean, I didn't mind it so much, but I know a lot of people did. I think that's why they stopped watching. And at this point, this show, I honestly, I don't know why I keep watching, except that I can't help myself. I'm invested. Okay, 7 seasons worth. What is that? Is that only 6 or 7 years the show's been on the? I'll have to check that one, but I think it is. And I'm just like, I gotta see where this is going. I can't help it, you know. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, you don't have to come on here and bash it. Well, that's true. That's true, probably. But I think we all feel a little bit better when we can all come together and not feel like we're crazy and all know that, yeah, this show is really sucking right now. It just is. So, anyways, we're coming to time here. I didn't want to go this long on it. But do you see my point on this? Please comment down there. Let's get a little bit of talk going. What do you think they're trying to do with this show? I mean, are we heading towards the ramp down and let's end it out? Because AMC keeps pushing this whole Walking Dead universe. And I'm like, universe my ass, guys. Your main show, The Walking Dead, is ending in 2022. Okay? This show is hanging on by a thread. You had World Beyond, which was okay at best. And I do mean just okay. If you want to check out that mess of a couple seasons, check out my reviews on that on my channel. What universe do you really have left? Oh, what? The Carol and Daryl show, which is no longer. It's now just Daryl. Unless they're going to find some other duo person to toss in there. It probably should have been maybe Connie, and that might have been interesting. Maybe have them fall in love, and maybe they're on the move. I don't know, but guys, it's so bad. It's so bad. It really is. So try to convince me otherwise. I'd love to see it, or please agree with me and let us revel in this misery together if we can. I am curious to see the next episode because I want to see what Alicia does. Let us be done with this. Kill Strand's ass off for once and for all. Because guys, I have to be honest, I almost wonder if the show is even going to kill him. He's he's too much of a d-bag and interesting crap character just to have killed off. You know, I almost think they're gonna try and keep him around a bit longer, or like maybe they're in the middle of the fight and everything else, and all of a sudden Alicia and everything's about to do it, and then Madison just shows up or something. You know, or, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And if they do, you better come back out and watch, because I am just going to have a heyday on this show. Guys, I gave this episode, I was teetering back and forth in my previous, 2 recordings. I think I said first I said a 4, then I said a 3. I guess I'm going to end off on a 4. Okay? It's not great. It's not even barely okay. This is a really, really rough episode, guys. They need to find their footing. They need to find those writing skills, you know, what they get paid thousands and thousands, hell, maybe even hundreds of $1,000s to do. It's time. It's time to get it going. Make sure to check out my other content on my channel, including my movie trivia videos, everything you probably knew about, said title, and then also check out my indie series, Dead Nightmare, a zombie series that's out there. It's called Dead Nightmare. You can go to deadnightmare.com. You can catch episodes out there as well, and some of my other content videos. And other than that, guys, I guess you'll probably see me at the next Fear review. I can't promise, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try my hardest. Stick in here with me, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. See ya. Test. For the 3rd time. Test. I don't know if I can do it again. I don't know if I can do it again. I'm going crazy.